If you're over 60, let me ask you something honest. Have you ever woken up feeling perfectly fine, only to suddenly feel dizzy, lightheaded, or a little off, like something inside just isn't right? Most people shrug it off. I just got up too fast, or I probably didn't sleep well. But what if I told you, that quiet moment could actually be your brain waving a small red flag? Hi, I'm Peter, and on Health at Any Age, we talk about the simple science-backed habits that keep your brain sharp, your body strong, and your independence intact, no matter your age. And today, we're diving into something most people never think twice about, the small, normal, morning habits that could quietly raise your risk of stroke. Now, this isn't about fear. It's about awareness. Because here's the truth. Most strokes don't start with a bang. They build up silently, through the daily routines we repeat without question. Doctors from Harvard and the Mayo Clinic now agree that nearly 80% of strokes are preventable, and that prevention starts with how you treat your brain and circulation in the first hour after waking up. Think about that, 1 hour. Every morning, your body transitions from deep rest to full activity. Your heart rate rises, blood pressure spikes, and your brain demands oxygen and nutrients. If we handle that transition gently, we support healthy blood flow and keep the brain resilient. But if we rush, skip hydration, or make small mistakes, we can unknowingly strain the very systems that protect our brain. So in this video, we'll uncover 7 common morning habits that might be quietly putting pressure on your brain and blood vessels, and more importantly, how to fix them easily. You'll learn why getting out of bed too fast can trigger silent circulation drops that harm your brain. How one simple drink can reduce your stroke risk before breakfast. The sneaky breakfast mistake that stiffens arteries and spikes blood pressure. How your coffee routine could be working against you. And even a surprisingly risky habit most people never suspect, delaying your morning bathroom trip. Each of these comes straight from modern research, from sources like the Cleveland Clinic, Johns Hopkins, and the National Institutes of Health, translated into simple, doable steps you can start tomorrow morning. So if you've ever felt dizzy, foggy, or off balance in the mornings, stay with me. You're about to understand why, and what to do about it. Because protecting your brain doesn't require expensive supplements or complicated programs. It starts with small, smart adjustments to what you already do every day. Let's begin with the first habit, one that almost everyone does without thinking. 1. Getting out of bed too fast. Be honest, when the alarm goes off, do you sit up and stand immediately? It feels normal, the day's starting, you've got things to do. But for people over 60, that single move can quietly shock the body. Here's why. After 7 or 8 hours of sleep, your body is in a resting, low-pressure state. Blood flow has slowed, especially to the brain. When you go from lying down to standing in one quick motion, gravity suddenly pulls blood toward your legs. For younger people, blood vessels adjust quickly. But as we age, those vessels become less flexible, and that adjustment can take longer. The result? A brief drop in blood pressure, known as orthostatic hypotension, which can make you feel lightheaded, dizzy, or off balance. Doctors at Harvard Health note that these small morning drops aren't just annoying, they can reduce oxygen delivery to the brain and increase the risk of mini-strokes, called TIAs, especially in adults over 60. And here's the scary part, those mini-strokes are often silent. You might not even realize they've happened, but over time, they can chip away at your memory, your balance, and your confidence. The solution is refreshingly simple, and it takes less than 2 minutes. When you first wake up, stay in bed for just a moment. Take a few slow breaths. Gently stretch your hands, feet, and legs. Then, roll to your side, sit up slowly, and pause. Let your body catch up before standing. You can even think of it as a mini ritual, a mindful moment to let your heart and brain sync up before you start the day. The Mayo Clinic calls this transition awareness, a habit that helps regulate circulation and prevent sudden blood pressure shifts. So, if you've ever felt dizzy when standing in the morning, it's not just old age. It's your body's way of saying, please, slow down, give me a second. And that small act of patience could literally protect your brain for years to come. At Health at Any Age, we love sharing small, science-backed habits like this, because it's the tiny things we repeat daily that shape how we age. Now, once your body has adjusted and you're ready to start your day, there's another morning mistake many people make without realizing it, and this one involves something as basic as your first drink of the day. 2. Skipping water in the morning. If you're like most people, the first thing you reach for in the morning is coffee or tea. But before that first sip of caffeine, there's something far more important your brain is begging for: a glass of water. Here's the simple science. When you sleep, your body loses fluids through breathing and perspiration. After 7 or 8 hours without drinking, your brain, which is made up of roughly 75% water, wakes up slightly dehydrated. And dehydration does more than make you thirsty. It thickens your blood, slows circulation, and raises blood pressure, a perfect storm for poor brain oxygenation. The National Institutes of Health reports that even mild dehydration can increase the risk of stroke and impair cognitive function in older adults. In fact, one study found that seniors admitted to hospitals after a stroke were twice as likely to have been dehydrated beforehand. So before your morning coffee, try this: drink 1 full glass, about 8 ounces, of room temperature water. That simple act helps wake up your blood flow, thin your circulation naturally, and deliver oxygen to the brain. Think of it as opening the blinds and letting in sunlight, but for your cells. If you want to take it a step further, add a small squeeze of lemon or a pinch of electrolyte powder, without added sugar. This supports hydration and gives your body a gentle morning boost. Cleveland Clinic experts even recommend keeping a glass of water on your nightstand so it's the first thing you do, before your feet hit the floor. It's quick, free, and incredibly effective. And if you're on medications like diuretics or blood pressure pills, hydration is even more critical, since those meds can deplete your water levels overnight. So before you sip coffee or swallow pills, give your brain what it's really asking for: water. Your body will thank you all day long with sharper thinking, steadier energy, and calmer blood pressure. And speaking of breakfast, let's move on to a habit that sounds healthy, but often isn't. Because even if you think you're eating right in the morning, there's one sneaky ingredient that could be putting quiet pressure on your arteries. Stick around, we'll cover that next, right here on Health at Any Age. Part 2, The Hidden Salt Trap in Breakfast Foods. Let's talk about breakfast, the meal we're told is the most important of the day. But for many people over 60, what's on that breakfast plate might be doing quiet harm to the brain and arteries. Be honest, what's your usual morning meal? Maybe it's a bowl of instant oatmeal, a slice of toast with butter, or scrambled eggs with a bit of cheese. Sounds harmless, right? But here's the surprising truth: many common breakfast foods are loaded with hidden sodium, even the ones that don't taste salty. We're not just talking about the salt shaker. Processed breads, instant oats, breakfast bars, sausage, cheese, and even healthy cereals can all contain hundreds of milligrams of sodium per serving. And for older adults, that's a real problem. According to the American Heart Association, adults over 60 are far more sensitive to sodium. As we age, our kidneys become less efficient at filtering excess salt, and our blood vessels stiffen. That combination can raise blood pressure dramatically, especially in the morning when your body naturally experiences its biggest blood pressure spike of the day. So imagine this: you wake up, your pressure's already higher than normal, and then you add a salty breakfast on top of that. It's like throwing gasoline on a fire that's already burning. Too much sodium doesn't just affect your heart, it also puts strain on the delicate capillaries in your brain. Over time, that stress contributes to small vessel disease, a condition that doctors at Johns Hopkins Medicine call a silent driver of both stroke and memory decline. Now here's the good news: you don't need to cut out your favorite foods completely, just make a few smart swaps. Instead of flavored instant oatmeal, try plain rolled oats topped with fresh berries or a few unsalted nuts. Instead of processed sausage or bacon, try a boiled egg with avocado or grilled tomatoes. And when buying bread or cereal, look for labels with less than 150 milligrams of sodium per serving. Experts recommend keeping your entire breakfast under 300 to 400 milligrams of sodium. But many common items, like one sausage link or a slice of cheese, can exceed that in a single bite. So, here's a simple trick: next time you shop, don't just glance at the calories. Go straight to the sodium line on the label. If it's over 20% of your daily value in one serving, that's your red flag. A low-sodium breakfast doesn't mean bland food, it means brain-protective food. And over time, these small swaps can help reduce stroke risk, improve circulation, and keep your memory sharper. At Health at Any Age, we love helping you find easy, tasty ways to eat smarter, not stricter. Because healthy aging shouldn't mean giving up flavor, it means learning what truly supports your body. Now that we've talked about salt, let's look at another part of the morning millions of people rely on: that first cup of coffee. It's comforting, familiar, and for many, non-negotiable. But how you drink it, especially when, could make all the difference for your brain and heart health. 3. Coffee on an empty stomach. For many of us, coffee feels like the only way to truly wake up. That warm aroma, that first sip, it's almost ritual. But here's something many people don't realize: drinking coffee on an empty stomach, especially first thing in the morning, can quietly stress your heart and brain. When you drink caffeine without any food in your system, your body reacts strongly. Caffeine increases adrenaline, your fight-or-flight hormone, and constricts blood vessels. This combination raises blood pressure and heart rate quickly, especially in older adults whose arteries are less elastic. According to Harvard Medical School, caffeine sensitivity increases with age. That means your body doesn't clear it as fast as it used to, so its effects can last longer, sometimes all day. And if your blood vessels are already under strain, that morning caffeine surge can push them past a safe limit. Now, that doesn't mean you need to give up coffee entirely. Far from it. In moderation, and with the right timing, coffee can actually support brain health. Research from the Cleveland Clinic shows that moderate coffee drinkers, 1 to 2 cups per day, may have a lower risk of Alzheimer's and certain types of stroke compared to non-drinkers. The secret is when and how you drink it. Try this order. Drink a glass of water first, to rehydrate and stabilize circulation. Eat a light, brain-friendly breakfast, maybe a boiled egg, a banana, or a slice of whole grain toast. Then enjoy your coffee slowly, ideally 30 minutes after eating. This helps your blood sugar stabilize and prevents caffeine from hitting your system too hard, too fast. Also, watch what you put in your coffee. Flavored creamers and sugars can trigger inflammation, something your brain doesn't need. If you like a creamy taste, switch to oat milk or a splash of unsweetened almond milk. If you need a bit of sweetness, try a half teaspoon of honey or cinnamon instead. Think of coffee like medicine: powerful, beneficial when used right, but risky when used recklessly. And if you notice you're needing 2 or 3 cups just to feel awake, that might be a sign of another issue: dehydration, poor sleep, or even low circulation. In that case, fixing those problems will help you more than another refill. So, the bottom line? Don't quit your morning cup, just time it right. Your brain and your blood vessels will thank you. Stick around, because next, we'll explore a subtle warning sign many seniors brush off, one that could be your brain's first quiet cry for help. 4. Ignoring morning dizziness or weakness. Have you ever woken up feeling a bit unsteady? Maybe your balance feels off, your arm feels heavy, or your speech is just slightly slurred for a few minutes? It's easy to dismiss: I probably slept on my arm wrong. But here's something doctors want you to know: that could actually be your brain trying to warn you. For many adults over 60, morning dizziness or numbness isn't just fatigue, it can be an early sign of a mini-stroke, known as a TIA, or transient ischemic attack. A TIA happens when blood flow to the brain is briefly blocked, sometimes for just seconds or minutes, then clears on its own. But even though symptoms disappear, the danger doesn't. According to the National Stroke Association, 1 in 3 people who experience a TIA will go on to have a full stroke, often within days or weeks. That's why these little off moments should never be ignored. If you feel sudden dizziness, weakness, or difficulty speaking, even for a few minutes, write it down and tell your doctor immediately. If it happens repeatedly, call for medical help. Don't wait for it to pass. Here's something empowering: you can track these episodes easily. There are free smartphone apps and simple paper logs designed for older adults to record symptoms, blood pressure, and medications. Doctors at Johns Hopkins say keeping these records can dramatically improve diagnosis and prevention. And if you live alone, consider a simple wearable alert device, something discreet that can call for help if you ever experience sudden weakness or fall. Remember, your body is smart. Those funny feelings are not random, they're messages from your brain. The question is, will you listen? At Health at Any Age, we believe awareness is your best protection. Because recognizing these quiet signs early can literally save your independence, and your life. Next, we'll look at something almost everyone over 60 does daily, but often without much thought: taking your morning medications. And as you'll see, how you take them can be just as important as which ones you take. 5. The medication mistake most people don't think about. Let's be honest, taking pills in the morning has become as routine as brushing your teeth for most people over 60. Blood pressure pills, cholesterol meds, maybe something for the heart or thyroid, it's just part of the morning ritual. But here's the quiet truth: how and when you take those medications can make a huge difference to how well they protect your brain, or how much they might accidentally put you at risk. According to the Cleveland Clinic, medication mismanagement is one of the most common, and most preventable, causes of stroke-related complications in older adults. Here's what tends to happen. You might skip a dose because you're in a rush. You might take the wrong pill, or take it twice because you forgot you already did. Or maybe you wash it down with coffee instead of water, thinking it doesn't matter. But these small things can quietly undo the benefits of your medication. For instance, skipping a blood pressure pill can cause your pressure to spike, putting sudden strain on your arteries. Doubling a dose by mistake can do the opposite, dropping your blood pressure too low, which reduces blood flow to the brain. And taking medications with coffee or tea, both of which contain caffeine and tannins, can interfere with absorption for certain drugs, like blood pressure or thyroid meds. So how can you stay safe and consistent without stress? Here are a few simple, doctor-approved systems that really work. Use a pill organizer, one with clearly labeled morning, noon, and night sections. This simple visual cue reduces missed or double doses dramatically. Link your medication to a daily habit. For example, keep your pills next to your toothbrush or near your coffee maker, somewhere you naturally go every morning. Set a reminder. You can use your smartphone, a smartwatch, or even a talking alarm clock designed for seniors. The National Institute on Aging recommends these simple cues to help keep routines consistent. Always take your pills with a full glass of water, unless your doctor says otherwise. This not only improves absorption but also helps prevent dehydration, which can spike your blood pressure. And perhaps most importantly, never change your dose or skip medication because you feel fine. As doctors often say, the reason you feel fine is because the medication is working. Here's a small extra tip many don't know: some medications actually work better when taken at night, especially cholesterol-lowering drugs. Ask your doctor or pharmacist if any of yours would be more effective that way. It might seem like a small thing, but these little routines are what keep your brain protected. Because at the end of the day, your medications are your body's daily armor, but only if you use them properly. At Health at Any Age, we believe being consistent is one of the most powerful ways to stay independent. A few organized habits can save you years of trouble, and possibly your life. Now, there's another morning habit almost everyone does, yet very few realize it's putting quiet stress on their body. It's something so ordinary that most people never think twice about it, until it's too late. Let's talk about it next. 6. Holding it in, the hidden morning risk. Can we get a little personal for a moment? When you first wake up, do you ever lie in bed scrolling through your phone or checking the news before getting up to use the bathroom? It seems harmless, maybe even relaxing. But for people over 60, holding in urine after waking can quietly raise blood pressure and increase stroke risk. Here's what's happening behind the scenes. When your bladder fills overnight, it sends signals to your brain that it's time to empty. If you ignore those signals and hold it in, your body releases stress hormones, particularly adrenaline and cortisol. Those hormones temporarily increase your heart rate and tighten your blood vessels, exactly what you don't want in the morning, when your body is already under its natural blood pressure peak. According to research from the Mayo Clinic, this early morning hormonal surge, combined with a full bladder, can cause a sharp rise in blood pressure, even in people whose pressure is normally well controlled. And that's not all. In some older adults, the physical strain of holding urine can trigger abnormal heart rhythms, especially if you already have atrial fibrillation or valve problems. That combination, high blood pressure and irregular heartbeat, is one of the most common setups for stroke. The fix? Simple: go when your body tells you to. Don't wait until after your coffee, the news, or your morning scroll. Make your first act of the day a quick trip to the bathroom. Think of it as a small but powerful form of self-care, one that keeps your cardiovascular system calm and steady from the moment you wake. And if you find you're getting up several times a night to go, that's worth mentioning to your doctor. It could be a sign of something simple, like a medication side effect, or something that needs checking, such as prostate or bladder changes. But either way, listening to your body instead of delaying it is a quiet way to protect both your heart and your brain. At Health at Any Age, we often remind our viewers, aging gracefully isn't about doing more, it's about doing what matters most, and doing it wisely. Now, we've covered 6 powerful habits so far, each one easy to fix but deeply important. Let's tie them together with one final morning mistake, one that connects all the others: rushing through your morning without giving your body time to catch up. 7. The rush reflex, when mornings become a trigger. You've probably had those mornings. You wake up, the to-do list starts running in your head, and before you know it, you're halfway dressed, phone in hand, and feeling tense before you've even had breakfast. That automatic rush might feel harmless, but in truth, it's quietly training your body to start each day in a state of fight or flight. Your stress hormones spike, your heart rate climbs, and your blood pressure rises, all within minutes of waking up. According to researchers at Harvard's Mind-Body Institute, this constant morning rush sets a tone for your entire cardiovascular system. They found that people who begin the day under stress or hurry mode are 30% more likely to experience blood pressure spikes or circulation problems later in the day. So, the fix here isn't complicated, but it requires intention. Try giving yourself 5 calm minutes before doing anything else. Here's a simple morning flow backed by both the Mayo Clinic and mindfulness researchers. When you first wake up, sit up slowly, as we discussed earlier. Take 3 deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. Before reaching for your phone, think of one thing you're grateful for. Stretch gently, even just rolling your shoulders or twisting your spine side to side. These microhabits lower cortisol, improve blood flow, and prepare your nervous system for a calmer, healthier day. It might sound too simple to matter, but as doctors at the Cleveland Clinic remind us, how you start your day determines how your heart spends the rest of it. When your body wakes gently, your blood pressure stabilizes, your brain oxygenates smoothly, and your stroke risk decreases significantly. So, if there's one thing to remember from all 7 habits, it's this. Start slow, stay hydrated, and listen to your body. Your brain will thank you, every single morning. Stick around, because in the next part, we'll tie everything together with a short recap, a reflection on how these small choices add up, and some powerful encouragement to keep you on track for years to come. Let's take a breath. We've covered a lot today. If you've made it this far, it means you truly care about your health, not just surviving, but staying strong, sharp, and independent for the years ahead. So before we wrap up, let's take a quick look back at the 7 quiet habits that could be putting your brain at risk each morning, and how to turn each one into a moment of protection instead of danger. Quick recap: 7 morning habits that quietly raise stroke risk. 1. Getting up too fast after waking. That sudden rush can cause a sharp drop in blood pressure, leading to dizziness or even fainting. The fix: sit up slowly. Give your body 10 to 15 seconds to adjust before standing. 2. Skipping water first thing in the morning. After a long night without fluids, your blood thickens slightly, making it harder for your heart to pump efficiently. The fix: drink a glass of water before your coffee or tea. Add a pinch of lemon for an easy antioxidant boost. 3. Morning coffee on an empty stomach. It spikes blood pressure and stress hormones, especially right after waking. The fix: eat a small snack or breakfast first. Even a banana or oatmeal before that first sip can make a difference. 4. Skipping breakfast altogether. When your body stays in fasting mode, it triggers cortisol, increasing blood pressure and stroke risk. The fix: don't skip it. Choose heart-friendly options like oatmeal, eggs, or Greek yogurt. 5. Medication mistakes. Taking meds with coffee, missing doses, or doubling up can all destabilize your blood pressure and circulation. The fix: use a pill organizer, reminders, and always take pills with water, never caffeine. 6. Holding in urine after waking. It causes stress hormone surges that temporarily spike blood pressure. The fix: don't wait. Go right when your body tells you to. It's a quiet act of care. 7. The morning rush reflex. Starting your day in a panic floods your body with cortisol and tightens your blood vessels. The fix: take 5 calm minutes. Breathe, stretch, and wake your body gently. When you think about it, none of these fixes require medication, expensive supplements, or hours of effort. They're small, free, and easy, but they create a ripple effect that protects your heart, your brain, and your independence. Because stroke prevention doesn't happen in hospitals, it happens in moments like these, in your kitchen, your bathroom, your morning routine. Every glass of water, every deep breath, every calm start is like quietly saying to your body, I still choose health. I still choose life. And that choice adds up, every single day. A gentle reminder: you're not powerless. If you've ever felt like aging means losing control, this is proof that you're not powerless. Your body still listens. Your brain still responds to care. And your habits still have incredible power to protect you. Doctors at Johns Hopkins often tell their patients, the most powerful medicine you'll ever take is consistency. So even if you just start with one habit from today's video, maybe drinking water first, or sitting up slowly in the morning, that's a win. You're already lowering your stroke risk in a real, measurable way. And over time, these little victories stack up, giving you more energy, better balance, and sharper thinking. A message from Health at Any Age. At Health at Any Age, we believe that growing older doesn't mean slowing down, it means growing wiser about how we take care of ourselves. If you found today's video helpful, here's how you can keep your momentum going. Hit the like button, it tells YouTube that videos like this matter. Subscribe so you don't miss next week's video. And most importantly, share this video with someone you care about. You might help them avoid a stroke, without even knowing it. And if you've ever had a health scare, maybe a mini stroke, or your doctor said your blood pressure was a little high, just know, it's never too late to turn things around. The human body is remarkably forgiving when given the right care. Each morning is another chance to do something small that makes a big difference. Drink that water. Take your time. Breathe. And remember, the life you protect might not just be your own, but the time you get to spend with the people who love you most. Because health isn't about fear, it's about freedom. Freedom to think clearly. Freedom to move easily. Freedom to live each day with peace of mind. This is Health at Any Age, reminding you. Take care of your mornings, and your mornings will take care of you. Stay well, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video.